Hello everyone, welcome to ReviewBits. Today we're taking a close look at a few shoe cleaning products from Markk, with the central focus on how effectively we can use them to clean a pair of dirty suede shoes. The packaging is pretty straightforward, and the products include the Suede Cleaning Kit, which is only $12, the foam ready-to-use foam shoe cleaner, which is a reasonable $16, and the Repel shoe protectant spray for a solid $17. All of which are extremely reasonable prices, given that these products work as well as we hope. The stakes are very high in this video today. All testing will be done on this slightly dirty pair of Pilotis I absolutely love and would hate to lose. Luckily, most reviews on this product have been 4 or 5 stars, though there have been a few mixed reviews here and there on a couple of them. Regardless, we're going to get to the bottom of this and hopefully things will turn out for the best. We will begin by unboxing and testing the Suede Cleaning Kit. The goal is to use the suede handle brush and eraser combo to at least clean some surface level dirt and imperfections on the suede portion of these shoes. So at first glance, the packaging is really clean, has really great aesthetic, graphic design, and layout. It's well packaged, although somewhat of a pain to get things out of. So initial reaction to the brush is it's very sturdy, has great bristles on it. It seems like it's going to do a great job. The gum eraser, however, is slightly different story. I expected this to be bigger, though the size may actually work in its favor. You can probably use it with a lot more precision if it's a bit smaller than if it were some big clunky gum eraser that's hard to maneuver. So I'm going to begin by using this eraser to remove some of the dirt on the shoes. I'm going to begin with the left shoe, work my way to the right one. So removed out of the packaging, looks really nice. So I'm going to work this into the side very gently, try and remove some of the stains. A technique I eventually end up using in this video that's been pretty helpful is alternating between the brush and the suede or the gum eraser, and constantly going back and forth as needed. So this portion actually technically isn't suede, but it's still doing a great job removing the stain from it. The back and the front tip definitely are suede, and it does a great job, but I've noticed there's some black stuff coming off. I hope that's not material, but as long as it does a good job cleaning it and doesn't ruin the integrity of the shoe, I can't complain. It looks pretty great. Now there's that spot in the back right corner of this shoe. That's the only thing it didn't remove, but that's due to wear and tear. There's actually a bit of wear on the front tips of the shoe that it actually did a great job of dealing with. It actually helped restore it a little bit. So that's definitely a plus. So far, this product has exceeded my expectations in quite a few ways. It's really difficult to find any drawbacks on it. Now, moving on to the next portion, the foam ready-to-use foam shoe cleaner. No real unboxing is needed for this or the Repel since they're both just bottles, but it's worth taking a close-up look at the really sleek branding. It's a pretty great looking bottle to have on your shelf, but marketing alone isn't a valid enough reason to own a cleaning product. So that means it's time to test. Before I spray the shoes and begin cleaning them, I'm doing a test on my hand to get a good feel for how much it dispenses. Luckily, the foaming head dispenses a pretty reasonable amount of foam. They recommend using the premium brush to work the foam in, but I'm going to use the slightly more common kiwi brush. Overall, it still works pretty well, though I eventually found myself alternating between the kiwi brush and the brush from the Suede Cleaning Kit. The issue with using brushes that have firm bristles is that they're a bit too rough. Causing the dye to run on suede shoes is one of the biggest challenges of cleaning them. The trick is to use a brush that isn't too gentle, but is the right balance so it can do what it needs to without being too harsh. Throughout this cleaning video, you've probably noticed that I've gradually started to use the firm brush a bit more as needed, switching between the two brushes based on what the job calls for. I also found that using the firm bristle on the heels worked wonders and almost completely removed the grimy yellow tint, restoring a good amount of its original white color. Overall, the foam did a vastly better job than I expected cleaning this pair of shoes. What's most impressive is that it did so without causing any dyes to run and left them with one of the freshest new shoe smells imaginable. Not only do they smell new, but with the exception of the one faded spot in the back right corner of the right shoe, They almost look brand new as well. I've got to say, I'm extremely impressed with this stuff. And don't just take my word for it, you can view the results here in this side-by-side comparison. So now we'll move on to the final stage of this video, which is the Repel Spray. After fully cleaning your shoes, you can spray this repellent on them to form a protective layer that helps repel dirt and fluids, or at least to help make them a bit easier to wipe away. In a sense, it's sort of like putting Silajet or Rain-X coating on your shoes. But I will say that of the 3 items in this video, this was one that happened to have some of the more concerning reviews, with a couple people reporting running inks or dyes on their shoes. But we'll have to see. We'll have to give this a shot and see how it turns out. I'm a bit scared. So before you apply this to your shoe, I would definitely recommend doing a test spray either on a paper towel or your hand, just to get a feel for how it disperses the fluids. Luckily, it seems to be a pretty even coating, but either way, it's a good idea. So when you apply this to your shoe, you should actually leave 6 to 8 inches, according to the instructions, between the head of the spray bottle and your shoe when you're spraying it. That way you ensure that there is an even coating all around. So I would imagine that as it's drying and curing, that is what allows it to solidify and create that protective coating around your shoe. I could imagine that this might be the step that some people didn't follow, which is maybe why some other inks and dyes ran. So with that being said, I let my shoes cure for just over 24 hours. Now that the curing process is completed, let's give it a shot, see how well it works. So we're going to start with a pretty basic test with just a glass of water. So, going to drop it on the tip of the shoe. Wow. That is pretty tight. That's really cool, I've got to say. I never imagined seeing some sort of coating like that on my shoes. And the other cool thing is that although I made a big deal about the curing time, over the last 24 hours before doing this test, I took these shoes out to an event and haven't cleaned them since. They came back looking this clean. So given how successful the water test was, I decided why not try a bit of Mountain Dew. And as you can see, same test results. It did just as well. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. All 3 products did everything they advertised they would, and I haven't experienced any of the complaints that I've seen in the comment sections. In fact, I've used these products on several other occasions since I initially filmed this, and I have had 0 issues. So now we've completed the unboxings, the demos, and the overview, let's move on to the final review. For the Jason Markk cleaning products that we've reviewed today, the bottom line is that they're fantastic. All of these work as advertised, and we're going to stamp this with a 4.5 out of 5. Collectively, they are incredible. So the pros that I found with all 3 of these products are that they work as advertised, they have a great smell, especially the foam shoe cleaner, they have premium packaging, and they're great value. The cons, well, they vary a little bit. The first drawback for me is a bit small, but it's the duration of the Repel Spray. It's varied from lasting for 2 to 4 weeks on average, depending on how much usage my shoes have seen and the type of wear they've faced. It's completely reasonable that this coating would wear off, much like Rain-X does. For maximum protection, just be sure to form the habit of reapplying it every several weeks or month, and, be sure to leave a 24-hour window where it can cure. The final issue that I sort of noticed is still pretty minor, but the eraser seems to come with a slight bit of risk when you use it. As you saw earlier in this video, it did appear to shear away a slight bit of the fabric on the tip of the shoe. That's a bit concerning. I haven't experienced it on any other occasions because I have acted very cautiously as I've tried to use it, but it's still something to be aware of. You don't want to mess your shoes up with that. But overall, these are absolutely fantastic products that I would have no problem recommending to anyone. So with all of that being said, that wraps up this review. Hope you all found this informative and enjoyable. Thanks for watching, and feel free to tune in, like, and subscribe if you're looking forward to more content from us.